Hello and welcome to E92. Today is April 14th, 2020, and we're still in isolation, so I'm still making these videos. My daughter has a very important message she wants to share with all of you. There's an influx of people testing positive for this virus at fast food restaurants, and I guess now we can be thankful that we are 2 hours from our closest McDonald's. 4 people have joined the E92 Fitocracy group. I have added a link in the description on how you can register. If you want to compete in our push-up challenge, you should start today. I've already put out 40. Now let's turn to the weather. Well, let's go see the weather.
Stop sign looked at me funny. Better stay inside.
Thank you, Ed. It's good to have a real professional opinion, you know? So you heard it here first, folks. The stop signs are up to something, and it's probably better to stay inside. Tons of people, I mean like 3, are lamenting that Jen isn't in any of the videos, E92 videos. And I totally agree. I mean, come on, where's the Jen? So that's why we at E92 have decided to hire her as the new host to E92's cooking program. Today in What to Do While in Isolation, Jen is going to make pumpkin pie.
What to do while in isolation.
Thank you, AJ from the desk. Welcome to our first episode of Cooking with Jen in the kitchen. So, it was just Easter, and pumpkin pie is the best thing about Easter, except for Jesus dying for us on the cross. That's pretty awesome. But pumpkin pie is pretty close. So, I made pumpkin pies yesterday, but our daughter is gluten-free, so I have to make her a gluten-free pie. Now, you can do the same thing if you just use normal flour. So this is gluten-free flour, but you just use normal flour. And then you dump in your salt. What?
Keep going.
And then you take your Crisco and you dump it in the bowl or on the counter, whatever you want to do. And then you take a pastry squisher or knives, because I don't have a pastry squisher, and you just cut it like this. So it took me about 3 minutes to do it with the knives, but you get something that's a little bit crumbly, but not too many big chunks. And then you take your water, your cold water from the tap, you dump it in, and then you stir the dough so it gets into be a ball. Gluten-free dough is super duper annoying to work with, and sometimes it makes you want to throw it across the room. That's just a normal thing of cooking with gluten-free. If you're making it with normal flour, it's a lot less annoying and you don't want to throw it across the room. Sometimes you do when you're rolling out the dough, but. So then you can just take it and dump it on the counter and kind of form it into a ball. I am going to be making 2 pies, so then you, which you usually do, and you cut it in half. Now because gluten-free dough is super duper annoying to work with, I just squish it into the pan. But normally you would roll it out and make a thin crust, and then you would roll it up on the rolling pin, and then you would drape it over the pan. But gluten-free dough drives you insane, so I just squish it into the pan. Sometimes it's a little sticky, so you just get a little bit more flour. Sometimes when you're rolling out the dough, you have to put a lot of flour on the table or on the counter, and so it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. And so when you're pulling up the dough, it doesn't stick to the counter. So make sure you put a lot underneath it and a lot on your rolling pin. Now we have our pie crust. Now we have to make our pie filling. I'll just clean this up and we'll get started. Okay, so you take your pumpkin pie filling and you dump it in the bowl. This is a way. Then you dump in your eggs.
How many?
4 eggs. I doubled the recipe because I'm going to make 2 pies. Then
I want to pour down.
you dump in your brown sugar. I will put the recipe in the description so that you can do it at home. And then you should tell me all about your pie making experiences. During this video, I've had to clean this counter like 5 times because I am very, very messy. Okay, so you stir in all those things. Then you add in your cinnamon. Then you add in your ginger. These bowls are so cool, these little things. Then you add in your nutmeg. And then you add in your salt. And then you stir it all up. And it smells so delicious. Unless you don't like the smell of cinnamon, then it will smell terrible. But I love the smell of cinnamon. Then you add evaporated milk, but I ran out of evaporated milk, so I'm adding coconut milk. The evaporated milk works much nicer. The coconut milk, maybe I should have heated it up a bit, so it's not so annoying. But that's okay. So because of your comments, Cadence and Kiana, I now have my own cooking show. So thanks a lot. I love you. I love cooking, but I don't really like to be videotaped. So, okay, so now that we're finally mixed, if you are using coconut milk, definitely microwave it for like a minute so that it works better. Evaporated milk is totally easy. So then you just dump it in to your pie filling or pie crust. And then if there's a crust around the edge, you can put tin foil, but the gluten-free crust is so low that all you have to do is put it in the oven, and then I'll show you the finished product. And you put it in for 450 for 15 minutes, and then at 350 for 30 minutes. And then you have a delicious pie. Let's check on our pie. Ooh, it looks awesome. Well, that was Cooking with Jen. Back to you, AJ.
So, I've combed through the comments, and you guys aren't commenting as much, and there's nothing here. You're not making any recommendations on what you want to see me do. So, I guess that's all you've ever wanted me to do. This has been the last E92. Just kidding! We'll be back tomorrow with more E92. Have yourself a day.